Hi everyone, hello, hope you are well. Just going to double check and make sure all is good on the Facebook group that it is broadcasting. Circle Coil here from Pairing Expat Teachers. It is Work Wednesday, where every Wednesday I do a Facebook Live related to being a professionally, on a professional level. So in terms of the mission of Empowering Expat Teachers is to empower future and current teachers to lead personally, professionally, and financially rewarding lives. And so I'm just looking at my screen. It seems like I don't know if it's the videos being shared. Let me check. And so this is all about the professionally rewarding aspect of being an expat teacher. Hi guys, if you can see me, do let me know. Send me some likes. Please leave a comment. My internet has been really slow all evening, and I've turned it off and turned it back on again, as all good IT people tell you, and it's still very, very slow. So please do let me know. I'm actually going to go on put on my data, and I'm going to put on my Facebook that way and see is it actually working. But if you can see me, do let me know, and if you can hear me, let me know as well. Yes, I'm not having a great day with internet today. So today we're looking at should you move abroad in the current climate. So over the next few weeks, all my Facebook Lives on Wednesdays will be about applying abroad, choosing a location, choosing a school, CV, cover letter tips, interview tips, etc. Goodness, even my data is slow, so maybe it's not working. I might stop it. Let me see. So today is all about moving abroad, and it was inspired by a post I saw. Oh, I see Norma's there. Super. Oh, hi guys. I'm really sorry that I look like I'm deliberating. Oh, good. I'm glad it's working. So today we'll be talking about should you come abroad to teach in the current climate. So first of all, it is a very, very different time for expat teachers in the current climate. I don't think any of us could ever have imagined a time where there'd be so much uncertainty, where there'd be limits, restrictions on traveling, that industries and businesses all around the world, including schools, especially the for-profit schools that are businesses, some are closing. So it's a really, really uncertain time. And I saw a post on the group this week where someone asked about should they leave their job and move abroad, which is a really excellent question. Really, really, well done on that poster for doing their research. And I would say they seem to have a lot of people working at a particular school they wanted to go to. So that was always a very good sign. But what I would say is I would definitely do my research. And before in the past, I'd always say do your research so that you can tailor your application. Do your research so you can get an idea maybe of the package. Do your research so you can see if it's the best school for you. Do your research because you'll be more of a memorable candidate. Your interview will stand out if you can, if you've done your research, if you reflect that. But now I would say do your research just to suss out the current economic state of the school. Let's make sure that the cuts haven't been too great in the school. If they have made some cuts, hopefully it's not been too much to teachers or to their packages. It's really important that you come on groups like Empowering Expat Teachers, or you may go on to International Single Teachers, I think it's called, International Single Educators. I put the links below, and there's another one or two as well. Definitely recommend you go on there and do post. And just ask, could anyone who's working at the school please get in touch with me? Could I PM you about something or whatever it might be? At least then, you're getting a good idea for yourself of, what's in store. And it's a good reflection of where the school is. So that's really, really important to do, before you do make that jump, before you do make that leap. One positive that's come out of this situation, I know in UAE, for example, I know in China, in Vietnam, particular places where borders are closed or where it was more difficult to get in and out of the country. I'd heard of some members sadly losing their jobs last minute. So getting a call in the last week of August and being told that there was no job for them because they had overestimated the number of students that were coming to the school, so the numbers had dropped, therefore no job for them. Luckily, other schools had the opposite problem. They hadn't realised, how many kids were enrolled, or they had maybe a last minute jump in numbers. So the teachers in question got jobs pretty quickly. So that's actually quite good. It's good to know. It's reassuring to know. I did see an article, and again, I'll post it in the comment section below on BBC about they expect that maybe 900,000 expats will leave Dubai in the next year or so. And that's something to bear in mind too, particularly if it's families. And those families have children. Obviously, those children may take out of schools, which again, the idea that it will affect the numbers of schools, particularly in those British international schools that have mainly expat students. That's something to bear in mind as well. So I'm just going to check my Facebook and see if there's any questions or anything, because my data's working, but nothing else is working. But my Wi-Fi doesn't seem to be working.
So today we're looking at schools that have
Sorry.
mainly expat students.
Hi Norma, how are you? Super. So yes, that's what I would say. That's something just to bear in mind. I am, such a huge supporter of expat teaching. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made in my whole life. It's really been amazing for me on a personal, professional and financial level. So I would always say to everyone, do definitely come out and, do your research. But again, best laid plans, you could do your research and you could check all these things out, and sadly something might happen where your school might close or something might happen with your job. But like I say, there's always, if you're in the country that in that country, you're more likely to find a job quicker than somebody's outside the country, so that's something to bear in mind too. But even best laid plans and all that, it still for me would be worth the risk once, calculated risk. You do your research, you suss it out. But yeah, it's been one of the most empowering decisions I've ever made, actually. It's been absolutely brilliant. I've had such an amazing experience teaching in different schools, being around, very multicultural staff. I've always taught local students in Qatar and in UAE, so I've had a really unique insight and perspective into the culture. Like, there's certain things I never would have experienced. I've had the chance to take on power's position of, responsibility. I've managed, to save six figures, and I've, bought properties, hope to buy more. It's been such an amazing decision. I definitely would recommend anyone to do it. Particularly if you're at home, especially in Ireland, a lot of secondary teachers especially don't have permanent jobs. So you don't really have anything to lose in that sense. And those teachers in Ireland who can take career breaks, it's even better, obviously minimizing the risk. But I definitely would recommend it. There are some things to bear in mind, of course. Really do your research on your countries. I've written down some notes here. Really do your research, because there are certain places that are super popular and everyone wants to go there. But because they're so popular, first of all, they probably get more applications because they're such a popular location. And also sometimes if a location is very popular, their packages don't have to be as impressive in order to attract teachers. So that's something to bear in mind as well. Always have a plan A, plan B, plan C. Don't just stick to one region. There are so many regions there. There's the Gulf, you've got Asia, you've got Southeast Asia, you've got South America, you've got Africa, you've got so many options. Do not just limit it to one particular city, okay? Do spread your search. Have a plan A, B, C, D. Make sure you do your research in terms of the for-profit, not-for-profit schools, and that's something I'll be covering in the next week or two in the Facebook Lives about the different types of schools and the implications for you. So that's really, really important and really good thing to think about. Because again, knowing the schools inside out and having a really good idea of the curriculums, whether it's IB, if it's British, or not British, national curriculum, if it's American, if it's Canadian, if it's the national curriculum of the country you're in, that has huge implications for you on a professional level. It could be even a financial level. It could be on a personal, well, maybe not personal level, but definitely professional and financial. And again, you need to play to your strengths. There's no point applying for a job in a particular school if your current CV doesn't have those skills. So it's really important that you manage your expectations in a way, like, just to make sure you don't feel disappointed, but actually your skills will be better off in this type of school or this type of curriculum. So this is really important, or this kind of student demographic. So it's really important to suss that out too. I'm just going to quickly go and check here and see if I have.
So today we're looking type of school.
Sorry, someone asked me.
So this is really important with this kind of student demographic. So it's really
Yes.
important to suss that
Hi,
out.
Wahid.
I'm just gonna quickly
Yeah,
check
I
here
am a
and see.
teacher. Yeah, I work full time. I teach full time. I'm a secondary school teacher. I teach English, or like more so probably English, like as a second language, to local students in UAE. I do work full time. Surely I look so exhausted. You must be able to tell that I work. I also teach full time. Okay. But so guys, do you have any questions yourself about moving abroad to teach? Sorry, look at my notes. If you think of any, honestly, put them in the comment section below. Oh, it's working now. Good, good. Oh, super. But yes, I would always say go for it. It's been such an amazing decision. Really, really loved it. It's been such a great decision. So I definitely recommend you do, but definitely do your research. Remember, over the next few weeks, I'll be doing Facebook Lives to help you sort of do that research, to give you some guidelines what to do in order to do that well. Hi, Speen. Yeah, to be honest, they're pretty strict about the PGCE. And I think the reason for that might be to do with getting a visa or work permit. In the Middle East, you've got a few options. Now, if you're unqualified teacher, there's a school chain called the International School of Shuwaifat, run by Sabas. And I know when I was in Qatar, they used to recruit a lot of degree holders. So these unqualified teachers would have a degree in the subject they taught, but they wouldn't have teaching qualification. And Sabas / same thing, International School of Shuwaifat would train them up in their own. They got a special way of teaching, and they would train the unqualified teachers up in how to deliver their curriculum in their particular preferred way. So that could be an option. You can also look at Ministry of Education in UAE. They don't always require teaching qualification. I know if you want to teach English, they require a CELTA, which is a certificate in English, teaching English language to adults. I should know what the acronym is. But yeah, that could be an option. QTS, no, not sure. If you go on to, I'll put a link in the comment section where I have ways to find jobs, and you can check there. Some will require PGC or QTS. Speen, what are you teaching? Is it secondary or primary, or is it higher education? But they'll usually say if they require the QTS. Although I know it is possible to get QTS while you're abroad. I know TES have a program, TES. They do a program online, or you might have to obviously get mentors or someone to supervise you or sign you off, like qualified teachers. But they offer just so I can't speak this evening, sorry, just because of the end of the week. They do offer a solution to getting your QTS, so that's an option as well. But definitely check the ads and you'll see if the schools, how strict they are and what they're looking for. I saw a comment there, but I think it's disappeared. But I think I said what I said. I'll see what let me check here. Hi Mary, how are you? Unfortunately, so you have two children, age 6 and 7. Are they always free? My husband's not a teacher. I would say in the UAE, it's getting less and less common to have free places for students. 10, 20 years ago, it was a given. Now it is getting less and less common. However, some would usually give at least one free place, and the second child you might have to pay 75% of the fees. I actually saw in another group, I think it was, someone asked that question, and actually I think it's something I'm going to put up on this group maybe during the week. Put a post, like comment if your school offers places to children, to the children of teachers. And the ones that seem to offer maybe up to like even 3 or 4 free places were all in Asia and mainly in China. So that's something to bear in mind. I would say it's getting less and less common, I'm afraid, particularly in the for-profit sector, because for-profit, obviously, the majority of schools in the UAE, in the Gulf, are for-profit. They're businesses. Some are standalone, some are chains, some are smaller groups, but they are a business. And therefore, as a teacher, you're taking up a fee-paying child, the fee-paying student. So schools losing money when they give your child a place, essentially. And some schools are less inclined to do it now. That's something to bear in mind. Some do, but I would definitely, thank you for reminding me, Mary, I will put a post up and get people to comment and say if their school offers it or not. But it's something to bear in mind. Your husband's not a teacher. Yeah, if your husband's not a teacher, I would definitely research and see what the job prospects are for him in his industry, in his profession, his career, because it's very difficult, especially in Dubai, to survive on one salary. Be quite tough now, I'd say. Like, cost of living is getting more expensive. It's not. It's just it is expensive, we'll say, and also, different VAT and different things. You wouldn't find your money going. I have heard some cases where one person has worked, but I don't know if much saving was able to be done. Is your degree is different to PGCs at advantage? Mohammed, it shouldn't be. It depends on the school. I think Abu Dhabi might be stricter on that than Dubai about having a degree. And again, it's for visa issues. I'm in a school in Dubai. And a lot of people I know, teachers I know, their degree is different to their PGCE. So hopefully won't be an issue. I know in countries like Turkey, it's an issue. Turkey are very strict. Because with my degree, it's different to my PGC. Oh no, my PGC is the same as my degree, but I went into something else after. So originally my degree was in teaching modern foreign languages, but then I started to specialize in English as a second language, because with PGCE, modern foreign languages, you can teach my own native language, which is English, to students up to 18 in secondary schools. So then after that, I did a master's in English language teaching and applied linguistics. Because I wanted to specialize in that area. But when I was looking for jobs, even in Turkey, even though I have a master's in English language teaching, they won't accept it. They only look at my degree. So I couldn't get a visa for Turkey, which is really frustrating. Wahid. No, not necessarily. In the MOE, if you look at the ministry, I'm pretty sure I've seen ads. Once you have like native proficiency, and once your IELTS is a certain score, it might be 7.5 they require. So I would definitely check out the MOE, Ministry of Education. And it's usually the IELTS they're interested in having the IELTS to make sure you've got to show you're proficient and to teach it. I'd say the IELTS actually, apart from the degree, your IELTS, but also you need a teaching qualification for other schools. For the MOE, you actually no, I'm telling a lie. If you've got a degree in English language, you might be fine actually. But I will definitely I'll put a link in, check the MOE, Ministry of Education, for jobs, because they have lots of different jobs. One thing with the Ministry of Education, the UAE, you don't know where you're going to be put. You could be put anywhere in the United Arab Emirates, which is quite a big country. That's something to bear in mind. Okay. Super. But yeah, I would always highly recommend it. But just again, do your research and have a plan A, B, C, D, just to make sure. Okay, guys, I think that's it. I'm going to double check here my phone, my data, to see if I have anything else.
Great day we today. So today
guys, thank you for everyone for your brilliant questions. I hope it was helpful. I will be doing obviously these every Wednesday, so I will post that day what's going to happen, but do be prepared for choosing the best location for you. There'll be a session on if you are somebody who like a maybe special consideration. So if you're an NQT, or maybe you're a teacher who has a family, or perhaps you're a teacher who is like maybe Irish or South African trained, or you're trained in a curriculum that's not the typical international curriculum like British, American, IB, tips for that. I'll also have about the different types of schools that are available around the world and the implications for you. Like 5 CP tips, 5 cover letter tips, etc. So that hopefully. Now, Spain, you're absolutely right. I actually was on the website myself today. That is a kind of a recent thing, I feel. Okay, granted, I haven't checked in a few months, but that's like sort of a new recent thing. This like kind of, I don't know how to say the word, Emiratization, where they're giving it, obviously the priority is to employ locals. You're right. You're right. I remarked on that myself today when I looked at it. And that's kind of, to me, unless perhaps they're maybe doing a freeze on jobs at the moment until the next, it is a bit early though for MOE. I mean, they won't be looking for next academic year until, I imagine, like January, February time. So I was surprised to see how many were for UAE citizens, but I know that's happening. I was reading an article there in Kuwait. They're definitely, Kuwait have been for the last few years talking about trying to, reduce their expat population and get more locals into those jobs. But yeah, in the last 2 weeks, I saw posts where they're getting rid of a lot of expat teachers actually. I know Oman, I think, are striving to do the same, Saudi as well. So that's something to bear in mind. Although the thing with Saudi is that Saudi are trying, I think, from what I've heard, their government local schools are all in Arabic, and I think I need to double check this, there's talk that they might want to emulate the Ministry of Education system in UAE, whereby the curriculum is done through English. And I think that for Saudi's 2030 vision, they'll be trying to boost the levels of English with students. So that's something to bear in mind too. Hi, Wahid. No, great. Oh, super. Excellent. Yeah, you're right with MOE actually. But again, it's not the prime time for recruiting yet. So let's give it a few months and see. Quick reminder, if you are applying to Asia, get back on I'm going to put a link up of how to find good teaching jobs in Asia. It's 10 websites I really recommend. Asia are already starting to recruit. They always recruit super early, much earlier than the Gulf. The Gulf tends to be December, January time. I know some can be a bit earlier, but that's just something to bear in mind as well, to make sure that you're starting to look at your CV, you're starting to look at your cover letter, you're starting to look at jobs, think about locations, starting to think about the school you want to be in, etc. Okay, guys.
They offered you, I can't speak this evening as well, to make sure that you're starting to look at your CV.
Okay, fab. Okay, I think that's everything. Okay, guys, hope that was helpful for everybody. I'll put in those links below. I actually remember what links I said. I know I said something about a school in Asia. Let me open up my screen and put that one in. And hopefully that one, yeah. Okay, guys, I'll put that link in now for 10 ways to find your ideal teaching job in Asia. And I'll also do the one for Dubai as well. And then you can just see yourself. Okay, guys, have a lovely evening. If there's a particular topic you'd like me to cover in the next few weeks, do stick it in the comments below. I'll try and cover it as soon as possible. All right, have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.